Little did know that while Taylor Swift was writing Folklore, she was also predicting the name of the newest National Hockey League team, so let's show her some appreciation. Yes.
True North Reviews, True North Reviews, True North Reviews.
Hey there, welcome to True North Reviews. My name is Ryan, and today we are discussing the Taylor Swift record, Folklore. This is the 8th studio album from pop singer and songwriter Taylor Swift, who in 2020 has pretty much nothing left to prove, at least when it comes to embracing different styles and sounds. She's consistently switched up those elements on each record while keeping her fans eagerly awaiting or perched. Some of her fans might even go to battle for the starkest of contrasts, which arguably most recently comes between the dark and edgy Reputation and the bright and pastel Lover. Now, whatever your opinions are on those projects, most of your points will end up being moot when we talk about Folklore, as this is an album where Taylor is essentially reinventing herself while enlisting the help of the National's Aaron Dessner. And as many would guess or could imagine, sonically, Folklore is like a National indie type album except with the added Taylor Swift vocal presence. Strikingly, however, and thankfully, Folklore has its instrumentals and vocals run in parallel, and that, in my eyes, is what allows Taylor's songwriting talent to truly shine. It seems like no matter the palette or genre, Taylor rises to the occasion, carving out pop sensibility. Take the track Exile, songwriting that suits the National, Dessner calling upon collaborator Justin Vernon of Bon Iver to sing in a lower register than what we're used to, giving it that Matt Berninger-esque timbre. Yet there, stacked against the odds, maybe a little bit out of their comfort zone, Taylor and Justin share and feed off of one another. Exile is a certified tearjerker if there ever was one. Now, for some fans, they aren't looking for sad Taylor. Instead, they may want to satiate their diet with a steady dose of catchy pop melodies and glossy production, and while those types of songs are all but forgotten on Folklore, Taylor's songwriting on a couple of these tracks might say otherwise. In particular, The One and Cardigan are pleasant and pretty listening experiences. They won't necessarily dazzle you with technical skills or energy, but the vocal melodies are all but guaranteed to charm. However, if you aren't interested in straight-up pop songs with indie backdrops, Taylor also takes the time to appeal to singer-songwriter enthusiasts. Cuts like August are a memory that will not soon fade away, unlike the month it is named after. Meanwhile, Peace and The Last Great American Dynasty slide in with subdued harmonies on the guitar to support that ever-distinct vocal lead from Taylor Swift. Mirrorball even has the indie folk and chamber pop sound covered with its hazy and foggy production value, as well as its sweet and smooth angelic vocals, really just taking it one step further than the title track from Lover, embracing that dusky, almost rustic, homemade sound. It's very light on the ears, but still tuneful. Now, a couple of solid standouts, maybe the greatest examples of Taylor's songwriting, come in the form of Illicit Affairs and Betty, the former of which has a beautiful finger-plucked guitar. Illicit Affairs might just be the hidden gem of Folklore. It is an understated, hushed acoustic cut that has all the focus on the vocal melody, but if you hone in on that backing instrumentation, it's something that reinforces the melody and can dazzle and take your breath away at a moment's notice. And then with the track Betty, of course, we have the harmonica that tunnels its way into our hearts. The guitar strums with force and urgency. It just takes control of where it wants to go emotionally, compositionally. Even the key change is tasteful. Betty is all wrapped up into a good track lyrically too, because it has a fitting callback to the song Cardigan. Moving along with an extended length of 16 tracks, while Taylor captivates many of the album's listeners song after song, there are a select group of them that are in one ear and out the other. That includes the song Epiphany, which is like Taylor trying her hand at an indie song. It's like she and Phoebe Bridgers wanted to team up for a lifeless and stale cut. It meanders with no authority nor purpose. Also, Invisible String plays a similar role to Illicit Affairs, and for those of you that know my music taste, I'm not one for carbon copies or just repeating the same mood or vibe on the same album. Additionally, Mad Woman is aimless like Epiphany, and just with these song mentions, you can kind of tell that I enjoy the first half much more than the second on Folklore. It seems like that front side has that more consistent flow and quality, whereas the second half, although it is enjoyable for individual songs, for the highlights, it's just a little hit or miss as it grows long in the tooth the longer the album plays. Granted, in addition, I'm convinced that Folklore is way more mature and appropriate in a certain mood or setting. Still, very cohesive, lyrically cutting. It is Swift at her prime, very empathetic compared to the last few albums that we've gotten from her. We can maybe take her a bit more seriously as critics have latched onto this album, and deservingly so. Folklore should be a hit with critics. I haven't heard anything sound this well crafted from Taylor since Red. It's funny because Taylor has so many allusions to Red and even 1989, but it seems like she's capitalized on the strengths of both of those albums, the lyrical potency of Red and the catchiness of 1989. And with the track list on Folklore, she might have also predicted the score she's going to get from me. She had songs on here entitled 7 and August, and I'm feeling a strong 7 to a light 8 out of 10. And there you have it. There's the album review for Taylor Swift's Folklore. Make sure you guys sound off down below in the comments. Let me know what you guys think of this music. I'd love to hear from you, whether you agree, disagree. I'm here to engage with you guys. If you'd like to leave a like, subscribe if you're new in town, I'd appreciate that. As always, thanks for watching, and have a rockin' day.